Judge.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. This is Judge Alyssa Perez, presiding over the 210 District Court criminal docket for March 17th, 2022. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives regarding COVID-19. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. Mr. Pantoja, would you call our first case, please?
Yes, Judge. Avila on page 1. It's cause number 2022-0D0-0287, State of Texas versus Bianca Marissa Avila. Announcement of counsel, please.
Roll case for the state of Texas.
Monique Velarde for Miss Avila. Defense is ready, Your Honor.
Okay, let me see. Oh, great. Is that Miss Avila, Miss Reyes?
Yes.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me get my. So did we get a motion? Odyssey is really slow. Did we get a motion to modify on the bond conditions?
I did send one in, Your Honor.
Okay, let me look that up. Okay, Ms. Velarde, as this Odyssey loads your motion up, will you just tell me basically what it is your client is requesting?
Of course. So the last time we were here, we talked about the interlock. She does have the interlock for the vehicle, and what you had asked for was for her to be on the personal interlock. So when she went to the appointment to have everything calibrated, she found out that the change in fee is quite a bit. I believe the personal one is 182 with the month for the installation, plus the monthly payment of 160, which is a lot more than the $89 she pays right now. We understood that a lot of this was in order to keep, the weekly updates. And so if you would consider having her back on just the vehicle interlock, what we would ask you to consider is having her go on her lunch hour every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of each week. Just so that she can check in, so that she can get it calibrated every week. That way she can, you get the information that you need. The amount of money is pretty big, especially since I had mentioned she lost her husband recently, which is about almost close to $4,000 less a month that comes in. She's a single mom to her 2 kids. And so far it looks like everything has been good, but we just wanted to kind of broach this idea with you.
Okay. So we have confirmed, I don't think we have anyone from PR here. So we did give her permission to drive. That was going to be my first
right.
question.
Correct.
She's got permission to drive, and she's testing 4 times a day. I don't recall on the PR report. I know I got a compliant PR report on her. What I don't know, I know I ordered 4 times a day. Ms. Avila, are you testing 4 times a day on that interlock?
I am testing in the morning when I drive to work, Your Honor, and then it's pretty much whenever I begin to drive in the morning when I go to work. If I have to run an errand at lunch, I have to blow into the device to
just when you drive.
Ignition. And then when I when I drive home or when I pick up the kids, and then during the drive, the machine sends me a signal to do a random test while I'm driving. So I have to do that as well.
Okay. So as long as we have, what I'm going to do is I don't have a problem keeping her on the same type of monitor. So we can modify, Marissa, if you're there, if we can just get the specifics on the exact type of monitor she's on, then we can modify the PR bond conditions to just maintain the monitor that she's on right now. She has the valid, as long as we have the valid driver's license, insurance, and compliance on the monitor, then you're going to be compliant on your PR bond condition. Yeah, that's a huge difference in cost. What I will tell you though, Ms. Velarde, for your client's benefit, I have no reason to think, Ms. Avila, that you're going to fall out of compliance, but I need you to understand something. You are very much kind of a deviation from what I would normally do for this type of offense, okay? So I need you to understand on the front end, if I start seeing violations in any way with any of the bond conditions, I'm going to look very closely, because as we are right now, I absolutely understand in terms of life circumstances, you having the need to drive, you got a driver's license, we're going to monitor you. But the second that we don't have compliance, you better believe if I get a report from PR, I'm gonna pull those conditions, okay? So let's not go there, okay? Your attorney's gonna work on your case. Let's stay in compliance, not have any issues. I wish you well. I know times are tough. So we'll make that modification and we'll just see you all at the next setting. Do you know when are we scheduled for trial? Oh, we're in August, is that
August
right?
12th.
We're in August, okay. So as long as we're on track, just let me know, Ms. Velarde, if you need any hearing outside of the regularly scheduled ones and we're good to go.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Judge. I do appreciate that.
Take care.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bye-bye,
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Who's next, Chuy?
Okay, Judge Garcia, page 2. Cause number 2018-0D0-1930, State of Texas versus Adrian Garcia. Announcement to council, please.
Roa King for the state of Texas.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jesse there for Mr. Garcia.
Okay, give me 1 second, please. I don't know why Odyssey is super slow. Well, we are scheduled, let's see, a motion to recall. Why do I have this? I show this as being canceled. Isn't this
Judge,
Miss
it was
Nava?
canceled, Judge. That is correct. It was Ms.
So
Nava.
I believe, isn't Alyssa Nava entered an appearance on this case? And
Yes, Your Honor. And that's the emails that we've been exchanging to sign the order. I just wanted an admonishment by the court.
so we do not have, is Ms. Nava here? I don't believe we had this hearing. This hearing was supposed to be scheduled, no, Chris, for the 24th?
It was canceled, Judge. Originally it was, and then she directly emailed you, you signed the motion, and then we got it taken care of the last.
Mr. Herrera, you may need to get with Ms. Nava. I don't know, she entered an appearance on your client's behalf. I don't know if we caught that. So let's reschedule this.
Your Honor, real quickly, I
Mhm.
don't represent him. And I don't know why I was scheduled. I was told this morning that I had a Zoom and I can't even remember this guy.
Oh, so you're not even the attorney.
It's-
So we need to make sure the system reflects that it's Ms. Nava on this case.
Yeah, Your Honor, because I was surprised and I was rushing to work. They told me, you have a Zoom this morning on this guy. And I don't even know who he is. So out of the abundance of caution.
Docket, I'll tell you this, the paper docket that I have does say your name, but I know since at least last week that Alyssa Nava had been is representing him. So maybe the system just, at some point, maybe you had him on another case and it just put you there. I'm not quite sure why you would have shown up on the docket.
I
But
don't
you're
know.
not,
He was showing the attorney of record last week when I sent out the docket, Judge, and this matter was taken care of on Friday when Judge Nava called. I went ahead and switched it on the system, and then when you signed the warrant, or excuse me, the motion to recall that warrant, it was taken care of yesterday.
so you might have been at some point
Your Honor.
representing him on something. Mande, Ms. Nieto.
He was the attorney of record pre-plea, and then it was Mr. Ramos. He was just never removed from the system, is what
Oh.
I'm looking at.
So my apologies, Mr. Herrera, the system still had you on there pre-plea.
Okay, Judge.
All right, thank you. Yes, sir. Okay, and Mr. Garcia is not set until the 24th, so that should not be for. Okay, who's next?
Judge Ortega on page 3.
Okay, go ahead.
Cause number 2019-0D0-3894, State of Texas versus Andrew Ortega. Announcement to council, please.
Roa King for the state of Texas.
Derek Quinata on behalf of Attorney Jonathan Huerta for defendant Ms. Ortega. Good morning, Judge. How are we doing today?
Well, I'm great. How are you?
Well, we're doing good, Judge. We're doing good. Every day we see the sun, it's a blessed day, and every day I don't miss a court, that's even better.
I agree. So what are we doing with Mr. Ortega? Did we find a number, or do we have a plea of true in place, wrapping everything up? What's going on?
Well, I don't know if Ms. King can give us an update. I do know that we were hoping to keep him on paper, but
Honor, I believe there was, from the last hearing, it was if he did not obtain a monitor by then we would proceed to a revo hearing.
This is one, yes, I believe we've reset from December
Correct,
to
Judge.
December to January to February, hoping that if there was a chance we were going to keep him on probation, it would depend on whether we had a monitor already set up. Do we have it?
No, Judge, no, and I know the family has made efforts.
So let's just come up with a number. Is this a true third? And you probably already told me that, Ms. King, because you did another extra effort thing today by sending an email that told me all these things. But that would mean I'd have to navigate from here and search and do all kinds of stuff.
I believe.
I believe it is a true third, Judge. I do see that his he had a prior DWI in 2018, and that was a misdemeanor. So and his first one was in 2012, and so it is a true third, Judge. But I do show he's never been in prison before, Judge. You know, this is straight probation, so you know he does have felony convictions. But this is the gentleman that also has the mental situation. Well, I'm not sure if the court was apprised, but when they went to go arrest him the last time, he was you know, there's videos showing that he was like in his kid's bed and having a mental breakdown or whatever, and the cops, you know, sort of they knew the situation and they still like tased him and all this stuff. And anyhow, there's currently an internal complaint going on, and this guy has mental issues, Judge. So I'm not sure if maybe we can get him into maybe transfer him to the mental over on the mental track. Well, I'm not sure what that is called. I forget it. It's
Ms. Pineda, I up until yesterday when I decided to clean up my office, I had Mr. Ortega's case summary sitting in front of me. And I'm afraid I either put him away with my other DWI reports, which I don't think I'm gonna find him if I did, or I shredded it. So do we know if Mr. Ortega was on some kind of MHI caseload, and was he an absconder? I wanna say he was an absconder.
Unfortunately, Your Honor, Mr. Ortega never reported to probation.
Yeah.
So we have no assessments, no information that we could provide the court other than he was an absconder. He never reported.
And Your Honor, it is a true third.
Is he under any kind of mental health treatment while he's in the jail? Mr. Hinata?
You know, Judge, I don't believe so, Your Honor. And in fact, if he is, it's not to our knowledge. I'm looking at the notes here, Judge. And apparently, his mental situation is sort of what prevented the whole reporting thing. I do know that that the absconding was his. I mean, it was a blatant inaction on his part. So we're not saying there's any excuses for it, but I do know that there's a mental situation here, Judge. I'm not sure we've had him screened, but I do know that aside from the non-reporting, which is of course a significant thing, Judge. I mean, we're definitely not saying that the non-reporting is you know, not sanctionable, but you know, I do think that considering the climate, you know, considering that maybe we haven't given them due process in terms of the mental screening, because I do know that the mom was trying to tell us, but the mom's, you know, it wasn't too clear either. But apparently there's a serious situation there. When they arrested him, he was in a kid's bed in underwear, like screaming, like like it was sort of weird. I mean, I laughed at it, which is sort of improper. sort of retract that laugh, but yeah, there's a serious situation there, Judge. And you know, I do.
I don't see any kind of 1622.
Yeah, right. I didn't see that either. So I'm not sure if maybe I can file something, or maybe get somebody over there at the jail to take a look at them before we proceed on a contested. I mean,
Have you met with him, Mr. Nata?
I haven't met with him personally, Judge, but I do believe that that the officer has spoken to him, and per the notations, it was confirmed that through that conversation, it also it was reaffirmed that we should get him screened. And it does show, Your Honor, that there's an afternoon hearing on a revocation today in person, and I'm not sure if the court maybe wanted to put that on hold until maybe we could get him screened, or.
Your Honor. if I
Monday.
may, just, I don't have many details, but I mean, it's unrelated to our case, but I know you asked, there are occasions where you ask about any previous probation treatment he may have had. During his DWI misdemeanor case, which he was on probation in 2019, it shows he was referred to TAP, but it doesn't show that there was much progress. There's a lot of documentation where he was a no-show, non-compliance with the TAP, and then that's when he picked up the DWI third or more felony, which he's on probation out of our court for. And I don't see anything where there were any mental health concerns or flags.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine, I mean, I'm not sure what you're basing your mental health concern on, other than some potential circumstance of which they executed the warrant, right? And he picks up the new case. And you know, he's got 125 so far and 64 on the prior booking. So he's got almost 200 days.
I mean, I agree. If it turns out that there's nothing there in terms of a possible treatment path, you know, I think the appropriate action would be a revo and maybe a low digit. You know, however, I'm thinking, you know, when you see a lot of inaction on part of the defendant, coupled with substance abuse here, the continuous DWIs, that usually shows that there is a mental something going on. I mean, inaction in terms of his
let me tell you what I'm seeing in terms of his history. I don't see anything that has to do with, and I'm not saying it's not there, because it could always be the core of what is on his history, but his history is substance use, marijuana, alcohol, you know, drug paraphernalia, DWI, alcohol, DWI, resisting, evading. So
it sounds like somebody was mentally messed up in my. You know, I don't know, Judge.
Who likes to drink and do drugs has a mental health problem.
No, I agree, Judge. I agree.
Party.
Yeah, well, I agree.
So, unless you have some concrete information, I'll tell you this, because we just keep spinning our wheels while we're waiting for you all to get a monitor. I'll tell you this right now. I'm going to reset this for 30 days. He's either going to do 2 TDC, or you have him screened and approved to go to DWI court. He can do it in the jail. You immediately, if you want him to not do 2 TDC, you need to go to CCR2 immediately and get him in the queue to be screened. That is the only way he is going to stay on probation. Okay?
Judge, that's an amazing profit
well, wait a minute. Well, you're telling me that, but I've spent 3 months waiting for you all to get a monitor. I'm not going to wait 3 months for you all to get him screened. And I know CCR2 is backed up. So you better get yourself moving.
We're going to get on the horn right now, Judge, and get that ball rolling, because I can tell you that the court's wisdom, I think, today has has definitely shown its plus side, because I do find that's
I'm gonna go
it.
borrow Judge Garcia's blue light. Where's his blue light? Have you ever seen that one, Mr. Quinata?
Yeah,
Does
yeah.
everybody know it? I see Carla laughing.
Yeah.
She knows it.
That's
Ask him
hilarious.
if he has an extra one.
That's hilarious. Thank you, Judge. And
We're coming back in 30 days. Okay.
and so today's in-person hearing at 1:30 is a no-go?
I had already canceled it. You all had never requested a contested rebel.
Yeah, no, we haven't. Hey,
Okay.
Judge, thank you so much. You have a blessed day. And by the way, thank you, Judge.
Mr.
We're on with you.
Quinata, I'm not joking. It is a DWI court referral, or he is doing to TDC in 30 days.
And that's incredibly fair, and in fact, I think appropriate. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Who's next?
Okay, Judge Cornejo Carvajal, page 5.
Okay.
And let me bring in the probationer, Judge.
Okay. Did I have this one? Let me see.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Renee Flores. I've sent the link to Jeep Tarnow regarding the writ that he filed. We need to speak to you if we can today, just so we can clear something up, Your Honor.
Okay, that's fine.
After everything's done. Thank you.
Sure. Mhm. Okay. All righty. All right, let's go. Is he here?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Cause number 2019-0D0-2421, State of Texas versus Luis Gabriel Cornejo Carvajal. Announcement of council, please.
Roa King for the state of Texas.
David Nunez on behalf of Mr. Cabal. Ready, Your Honor?
Okay, and Mr. Carvajal is appearing remotely. We are scheduled for a motion for early discharge. Mr. Nunez, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Carvajal has done fairly well on probation. He's reported and been complying with all terms and conditions of community supervision. He's paid all his court costs, all his supervision fees. He has not tested positive for any alcohol or drugs while on probation. We have spoken with his supervision officer, who has no objection to the early termination of probation, Judge. So with that said, we would respectfully ask the court for an early termination of Mr. Cornejo's probation.
Okay, Miss Carla and Miss King, I'll ask for your input in a minute. Carla, I know someone just forwarded a report. I'm just juggling through a few things. What do we have outstanding, if anything?
Your Honor, I believe it's only the community service, but I mean, they haven't worked community service and due to COVID. But other than that, Judge, he is current with his fees, with probation fees. And the probation officer's report, he's reported, there's no positive drug use, nothing like that. And they are in agreement with the recommendation of the early discharge if the court grants it.
They're in agreement?
Yes. Your
Yes.
Honor.
So who was the complainant on the underlying case? Was it an agency? There was no outstanding restitution, anything like that?
I just checked for restitution, Judge, just to make sure, but I didn't see anything on the conditions of probation initially ordered, so therefore there was no restitution. trying to check on the complaining witness.
Your Honor, it's his employer or was his employer.
Your Honor, it looks like it's a Carlos Spector and his businesses, whatever business that was.
The law office of Carlos Spector, correct?
Ms. Pineda, do you know if anyone has been in contact with the complainant on this one?
I don't see anything documented. But let me, if you'll give me a minute, Your Honor, I can ask the officer if she'll
Sure.
just kind of confirm this with me.
Yes, I'm remembering now. I remember this case.
And Your Honor, I did run a rap sheet this morning and there's no new offenses.
Your Honor, there has been no contact with the complaining witness.
Okay. So I think this is the first time we've never heard a motion for early termination before. One thing I would like to do, Mr. Nunez, because this is, I'm not saying there's a hard and fast rule, there isn't, but it's a little bit on the early end for when I would entertain an early termination. Before I do that, I would like to get confirmation from probation that there's not any strong objection either way or input from the complainant. So let's reset this one for 30 days. I'll tell you this, Mr. Nunez, if I get a report before then from probation that, you know, they're good to go, everyone's good to go, I will not require the hearing. I simply, if you've provided a proposed order, we'll sign off on the order. If not, you can anticipate that we may even reset that hearing if you don't want a ruling per se, maybe for another nine months or so. Okay. And revisit it, or, you know, or I can deny it if we have a problem and if you want to refile something. Okay. We'll play it by ear, see where we are in 30 days. Okay.
Understood, Judge. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Who's next, Tree?
Judge Monares on page 5.
All right.
Morning, Judge Perez.
Good morning. Go ahead, Tree.
Okay, Judge. Cause number 2016-030-2790. Cause number 2021-030-3075. State of Texas versus Francisco Monares. Announcement to council, please.
Raul King for the state of Texas.
Good morning, Your Honor. May it please the court. Richard Roman on behalf of defendant Monares.
Okay, let me ask one thing. Did we get you on both cases now, Mr. Roman? Are you
Yes.
on? Okay, beautiful.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so this is another one where I'll put it on me. I'm back and forth really with Mr. Monares. Where were we last time?
Yes, ma'am. He's pending a transfer to Judge Anchondo's court. You wanted reassurance from me that I had reviewed the everything on the new case through portal, which I have done. And I would just like to, once again, re-urge Your Honor to kindly consider letting him proceed on to Judge Anchondo's court to get the help he needs.
Okay, so are you telling me on the 2021 case, you've reviewed it thoroughly, there are no outstanding issues that would require a motion to suppress or anything of that nature?
No, ma'am. No,
Okay,
ma'am.
so if that is the case, then Ms. King, are you on board with DWI court?
Yes, Your Honor, I am. I
Okay,
think it would benefit him.
okay. Then if you all want to wrap it up with DWI court, the court is amenable to that. So we don't have another setting until April 14th. As soon as we get plea papers going, Mr. Roman, we lose it?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, no, there you are. As soon as we get plea papers going, sign him up. Get the plea papers back to us. We will get you scheduled for a plea and then we can get them started. All right.
I will do it expeditiously, Your Honor. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you for your efforts. Mándeme.
If I may, What, as far as the probation 2016 case, will we be extending his probation?
Let's extend him. When was he due to term?
He already expired, Judge, November 2021.
So let's at least do a year, right? At least a year. Do you think we should do more?
The court's recommendation, Ms. King's recommendation, Your Honor, to kind of bundle everything up into one disposition was a 5-year, I think, straight probation term. She's on, you can confirm that with her. Hopefully, I don't think I'm wrong.
Right. So the new case, the 2021 case, I think she's saying, are you saying 5 for 5, 5 years for 5 years of straight probation? But in terms of the extension on the 2016 case, he expired when, Carla? I'm sorry.
November 21st, 2021.
So he would need more than a year?
Well, considering that in his probation case, he still had he's still pending. There's a class that he hasn't completed, which is a repeat offender course. Would
we not be able to modify the 2016 case to DWI court as well, or does he have to complete the original terms?
No, but that's part of it, Your Honor. I mean, that's part of it. He could do the DWI drug court, obviously, but I mean, I do need to know the extension time. If it's a year, I mean, we can always terminate him after the year, and then he can continue on the 2021 case.
Right. I think that's fine. I mean, because ultimately we're going to have him for another 5 years.
So it will run concurrent, Your Honor? Is that kind of the effect of?
It'll run concurrent. What I see is that both cases will be modified for DWI court. So any terms that attach to the old case will kind of be subsumed by DWI court, right? Whatever Judge Anchondo is giving him and for treatment, all of those things are going to be now the conditions of the DWI court. And, you know, if he technically terms on the old case with that extension, so be it. He still has to complete the supervision on the 2021 case.
Yes, ma'am. No objection.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. Are we waiting for the April 14th court date to move on the plea? I assume that he's going to plea on the 2021 and then the modifications on the probation case?
So as soon as we get the plea papers back, we'll set the plea. I don't know if that'll mean I don't even know what the 14th is a Thursday. So no, I'm not necessarily waiting for that date. It's just a matter of when we get the plea papers. When we do the plea, send the mods.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll get the plea papers into you quickly, Your Honor. We'll get them in quickly.
Alrighty.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much. May I be excused?
Was that everything?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Carla?
Yes.
That's everything?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Who's next, Shui?
Okay, Judge Griego on page 5.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Yes, Judge. Call number 2019-0D06836, State of Texas versus Victor Manuel Griego. Announcement of council, please.
Roa King for the state of Texas.
Deborah Bavin for Mr. Griego.
And Edgar Eras for the probation department.
Okay, we're set for a probation status screen. Mr. Edas, what do you have for me?
Yes, Judge. Since the last hearing, Judge, back on January the 13th, Mr. Griego, he got himself a job. He's working for Galindo Tire Shop on Alameda. He's been reporting as scheduled. We've conducted a few drug tests, and he's tested negative on those. The one thing he did yesterday is he was able to pay off his fines and court costs in full.
Good.
And community service hours, he still has a balance of 80 hours, Judge. I spoke to Mr. Griego back in February, and I gave him 2 locations to go work on his hours. When I spoke to him last week, he indicated he went to one of them, but that location was still closed. So it might be just an issue of, them not having enough people to man these locations. But I did ask Mr. Griego to go ahead and go back and start working on his hours.
Okay, so overall, are we up to date at this point? Are we good to go, with Mr. Griego, or what do we have left? He's on for 8 years, right?
Creo que son 8, pero pues voy a tratar de hacerlos en 3.
Señor Griego, ¿sí ha entendido todo lo que estamos diciendo?
Sí.
Okay, well, I won't ask to hear from Mr. Griego, although I understood him. So, Mr. Eras, what is your recommendation?
Judge, based on his progress and as of the last hearing on January the 13th, at that hearing, you said you would decide whether to dismiss a motion or not. In my opinion, he's paid off his fines and court costs, but let's give him a little bit more time to go ahead and work on some hours. At this point, Judge, my recommendation, speaking for this department, is for the court to consider a status hearing in 60 days to check on his progress and see if he's, had an opportunity to work on his hours.
Okay. What was on the motion?
Yes, Judge. I can answer that. On the motion, there was a few failure to report dates. There was an issue with Mr. Griego going to Hobbs, New Mexico, and leaving to Midland, Texas, to go work over there without permission.
Okay.
There was also the issue of him not paying his fines and court costs and him not paying his probation fees.
Okay. So look, we'll do 90 days. If we get a good report in 90 days, Mr. Eras, then we'll dismiss the motion. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much. Missy Pavan, did you have anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. King. Thank you, Mr. Griego.
May I be excused, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Can we be excused as well, Your Honor?
Absolutely. Thanks. Who's next, Tree?
Okay, Judge Moore on page 6. I don't know if they need to approach.
I thought we canceled that one.
Okay.
I thought so. Is Mr. Stevens? Those were supposed to track the trial settings.
Yeah, they were canceled.
But since you're here, what are you guys doing on them? I guess.
Negotiating, Judge. We have not reached an agreement, however.
Oh, Mr. Stevens, that should be easy. That should be an easy one. You have a lot to work with.
We do have a lot to work with, but we're not quite there. We'll get there, though.
All right. So we do have our settings squared away, though, right? We're not missing cases or okay. Good. All right. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Judge.
Here. Who's next, Tree? Can we take care of Rebecca Ortiz because she's been clicking in?
Yes, Judge. She's I believe she should be there. Miss Ortiz.
I couldn't. I was like, I don't know if they could see me or not.
We have you. Go ahead, Tree.
Yes, Judge. It's cause number 2018-0D04111, State of Texas versus Rebecca Ortiz. Announcement of counsel.
King for the state of Texas.
Teresa Orona for adult probation.
Okay, and so we were scheduled, I think, for an admonishment hearing. I can't recall if via email I had not mentioned to you, Ms. Orona, or if it was through another probation officer, whether we needed to continue with this hearing. Ms. Ortiz is here, but I believe Ms. Ortiz, your attorney had contacted us. I think they had a conflict with today's setting. And so, Ms. Orona, were you the one that emailed me with the concerns and I guess the request for this hearing?
Yes, I was following the department procedure.
Okay.
And notifying the court as far as the violation.
Okay. And so I am aware, because her attorney is not here, I will tell you that I don't necessarily want to do anything because her attorney is not here per se, but the court is of the opinion Do we have a new case? Has she picked up a new case?
Yes, Your Honor, it's forgery and the date of offense. It's still in.
That one we already knew about, but I think there was, sorry, Ms. King, I think, I don't know if you were copied on the email, but there were some concerns that Mr. Rona had regarding, I guess, images that you received from the monitor, right, Mr. Rona?
Yes,
And
Your
so
Honor.
there was some kind of incident, might have included a curfew violation. So
Yes,
before
Your
we get into any of those details, I'm sure Mr. Avalar or someone from their firm is going to have something to say on Ms. Ortiz's behalf. But in general, what I'm going to say about that is we are 11 days away from her terming on this case. And I think she may have another case that might be coming up. I don't know that it'll be here or not, but for my purposes on the 2018 case, I just assume let her term. Okay, so, Mr. Rona, I, for your office's purposes on the incident that you reported, it is duly noted by the court. In terms of there being some kind of sanction for Ms. Ortiz, I'm not inclined to go there now. She may have other problems down the road, but for purposes of this probation case, I'm just not going to go there. So if there's something else, then we're going to have to reschedule it because we're going to need her attorney here. Okay, so I'm not telling you don't come back, but if you want to continue to have the discussion, we're going to have to reset it because we're going to need an attorney. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Ortiz.
Thank you.
All righty.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Absolutely. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. Who's next, Shui?
Okay, Judge, Mr. Darnell is here on Jaden Thomas.
Okay. Let me, do we have a cause number on that? 'Cause I don't think I have Friday's docket.
Judge, I believe I've got the civil cause number.
Okay, gentlemen, are you there? Mr. Darnell and Mr. Flores? So we're done with Thursdays, Shui?
I'm here, Judge. I'd rather not show up on video because I'm on vacation and haven't shaved in a week, but I'm here.
Yeah, you'll just make us all jealous because you're on vacation. So let's see.
I promise. I'm on vacation with 4 and a 6-year-old. Ain't nobody jealous.
Hey, lucky. All right. Jaden Thomas, I think it's okay. Shui, you have the cause number?
Yes, Judge, I do. But I believe Mr. The DA is gone. Are you going to handle this, Ms. King?
Yeah, I can.
Flores is, yeah, he was logged out.
I kind of lured him into this.
Okay.
Umbrella can handle anything. Is he coming back?
He's back. Let me let him know.
I'm here.
Did you kick him out, Shui?
No, ma'am.
Thomas, Jaden. I remember this. How it's spelled anyway. Search. Okay. Let me ask this. Are you all wanting to go on the record on this?
No, Judge.
Okay, so we can